All right, so this is going to be round 2. We're going to do modules 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Let's get into it. Let's not waste our time. So I'm going to zoom in, so Control plus will zoom in. If I need to move to the side, I can do a 2-finger kind of like shift or movement on your touchpad, or if you hold the space bar, you can click and drag to pan to the left with the hand tool. So number 6, use the selection tool in conjunction with shift to add to a selection. And this is super important if like there are multiple things you want to select, but they're across the screen. And so if you want to just select all of the purple pentagons, holding shift will allow you to do that. So select and make all the stars blue, the circles green, and the pentagons red. So let's start with the stars. We're going to make all the stars blue. So if I have my selection tool, so black arrow, I'll click on one star, and then I'll hold shift on the keyboard, and I'm just going to hold it down. Don't let it go, just hold shift. And then I'm going to go through and just click on all the stars. Again, I'm holding shift the whole time. So now I've got all the stars selected. To change the fill color, I will double click on green, this like lime green, because that's where the fill color is. Double click. I'm going to make them blue, so let's go to blue. That looks like a nice blue, and I will hit OK. So let's see. Select and make all the stars blue, the circles green. So now I'm going to take my selection tool, click on one of the circles, then I'll hold shift, click on the second circle, third circle, fourth circle, fifth circle, sixth circle, seventh, eighth. All the circles are selected. Circles are green, so double click on the fill color, change my hue to green, maybe change the value of the green, and then hit OK. Then make the pentagons red. So I'll click on one pentagon, I'll hold shift, next, next, next. Again, holding shift and then clicking on the purple pentagons. All the pentagons are selected, double click on the fill color, go to red, and I'll hit OK. It's kind of a reddish orange. Kind of seems more orange than red, but hey, that's going to be good enough. Module 6 is complete. Let's move on to 7. Select and rotate the sad mouth to make the image a happy face. So this one's pretty simple. I'll just click on the face. All of these parts can be kind of moved around independently. It's kind of like Mr. Potato Head. So I'll click on the mouth, and then I'm going to put my selection tool to the upper right hand corner there. Again, you see that iconic arrow or cursor where it turns into 2 arrows on a 90-degree orientation. I'll then click and drag. You can even see like degrees kind of show up. I'll go to 0, and now I've got a smiley face. If you want, you can even like position it. You want to drop the mouth down a little bit. You want to put the nose up, you can do that. But just turn it into a happy little smiley face. He's smiling, he's so happy. Okay, module 7 is done. Let's move on. So number 8, this one practices locking a selection. So we've already talked about locking the background, so this should be some review. Select the text box, use Control 2 to lock the selection, then change each circle to a different color. So again, if I select this text, it should all kind of like show up as blue. And what I'm going to do is go to Object, Lock, Selection, or Control 2 is that keyboard shortcut. So Control 2. When that happens, I can no longer select the text, and that means I can actually click behind the text to get to those circles. And let's change them to a different color. So this one I'm going to go dark purple. This one maybe I'll go to like a reddish color. Magenta E. This one, let's stay in the same kind of like color scheme. We'll keep this kind of like reds and violets. And this one, yeah, maybe we'll do like more of a grayish color. And we'll hit OK. So again, locked all the text, changed my colors. If I wanted to unlock the text, I could then go Object, Unlock All. The only downside to doing that is it will unlock everything within the entire composition. So let's just leave this locked right now and worry about unlocking at a later point. All right, spacebar hand to move and pan to the right. Module number 9. Use the selection tool and shift to add selections. Select the triangles of similar colors. When all of a color are selected, use Control G to group them. Group each triangle according to its hue. So again, this is both selecting and then grouping. Sometimes in Illustrator, with the newer versions, they'll prompt you to group by giving you a little pop-up window. So let's go ahead and go through this. So we're going to group selections. So I've got my selection tool. I'm going to click on this green triangle thing. I'll hold Shift, click on the next one, and then the next one. And for some people, a little window will pop up and it'll say group, and it'll ask you if you want to group them. If it doesn't, you can also go to Object right here and then Group, and you can see the keyboard shortcut is Control G. I memorize these keyboard shortcuts just because I don't like to use the menus, but I'll click on this. And now what you'll notice is like as I click and move one of those, all of them move. All right, let's go and go through the gray ones. So click one, hold Shift, another one, another one, another one. Object, group. They're all grouped together. And then the last one, these kind of reddish triangles. Click one, hold Shift, keep holding Shift, and click on all of the triangular guys of the same color. And then Object, group. And now you can see each one of these are grouped. And so if I'm going to move them all together, it kind of helps when you have a complicated drawing, if you want to group everything together so that it moves and all the spaces are maintained. Control G or Object Group allows you to do that. Spacebar hand to move to the last one. Draw a face below using 10 shapes and 3 colors. All right, so let's get our shapes tool out. I don't know, maybe I can do a polygon. I'm gonna draw a polygon out. You could draw a circle. That'll be like maybe the shape of the face, sure. And this is really up to you. You can do whatever you like. So that's my face. Let's get some kind of fun colors here. Cool. So shape number 1. I'm going to make some eyes. So if you click on a shape, you want to change it to white, you can double click, move it all the way to the upper left. I'm going to do an alt click drag to make 2 eyes. So I've got 3 shapes. I'm going to do Control C, Control V to copy. I'll change the color. Let's make it black. I'm going to scale it down. I'm going to hold Shift. I've got these little pupils. If I do an alt click drag, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I got half my shape so far. Duh. 5, 6. There's a little nose. Maybe I'll change that nose color. What else can we do? Can do a little rectangle, give him some eyebrows. Maybe we'll do some ears with the rounded rectangle. Take my selection tool, alt click drag to make another one. And now let's see what we got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I got 11 shapes there. So that works out pretty well. So draw a face below using 10 shapes and 3 colors. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I've got 4 colors. And there you go. So again, just using shapes, organize it. You can make eyes. If you want to do things like you did with the direct selection tool, you can take your direct select, click on the shape, click on the anchor. You can kind of make things a little bit more like interesting looking. Again, to move an anchor point, you have to click on it. Click on the shape and then click on the anchor point once, and then you can move it. Click once, move. And then just modify it. Make it kind of interesting. Make it your own thing. There we go. We got a face. Control 0. You can now see all of the modules complete. And then I would just go File, Save As, save it to your computer, and then you can submit it to the assignment. That's where we're going to stop. All right, guys.